Good job to you for clicking on this video. My name is Maarten Gigase, and on behalf of my research team at Tilburg University, I will be using this video to introduce to you our research on the topic of remote electronic voting, or in short, iVoting. So let me start off by explaining to you why we chose this as our topic of research. This has three main underlying reasons. And the first one is the coronavirus pandemic. The coronavirus pandemic, which hit us early 2020, had a real impact on society. Suddenly people were supposed to work and study remotely, avoid social contact, be really careful with visiting family, friends, especially grandparents, people who are a bit older or more at risk. So if we are supposed to oblige to these measures, then why are we still supposed to go to a room filled with unknown people in order to cast our vote? The second reason, well, it's linked to the coronavirus. And how do I put this? It's basically the year 2020. A lot of things happened around the globe. Some of those in our control, some of those out of our control. But in general, these things have put a lot of pressure on democracy. Let me just, for a small recap, here are a few examples.
The fire catastrophe in Australia, where the nation's largest evacuation is now underway.
Meghan Markle, the couple, as you may have heard now, is stepping down as senior members of the family will split their time between the UK and North America.
Once the largest empire, Britain is an island again. The United Kingdom declared independence from the European Union.
And was 46-year-old George Floyd.
The nation erupted into scenes of chaos, violence, and widespread destruction into the early morning hours. Dozens of American cities up in flames. Hours before a curfew was ordered, the city became a war zone. Large groups torched police cruisers.
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
Having the right leader is the most important part of democracy, and this stems from a good election process. And is the current process actually good?
They have to be very careful, because you know the things with bundling and all of the things that are happening with votes by mail, where thousands of votes are gathered, and I'm not going to say which party does it, but thousands of votes are gathered and they come in and they're dumped in a location, and then all of a sudden you lose elections that you think you're going to win.
Just like that, all of a sudden you lose an election. Well, we believe that iVoting with the right IT systems and processes in place could be much safer. The third reason we feel also builds on the previous two. Look at our digital transformation. We are doing everything online. We are working, studying, shopping, ordering food. We are doing everything online. And given the fact that there is so much discussion about our democracy, and at the same time this social isolation from the pandemic, that we are left thinking, if we don't make this transition to remote voting now, then will we ever? If we were to make the transition towards iVoting, it is really important that public opinion supports the matter. We have identified three factors that can make the public eager and more supportive of the whole iVoting process. These three factors include confidentiality and integrity of the vote, as well as the availability that it carries towards all the voters. Within the field of IT and information management, we identified three disciplines that can help us in analyzing how these factors can be ensured. These three disciplines are process integration, cybersecurity, and IT governance. Towards the end of our research, we will also provide suggestions and a so-called blueprint as to how we can make the transition work. It should start small, local elections, to gain trust of the public, but eventually elections. So the question in the future will not just be who will you be voting, it will be who and how will you be voting. Thank you very much for watching this, and if you're interested, feel free to read our paper. Thank you very much. Bye.